Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor, and today I am doing another Fatal Friday video. And that is the series I do where I go into the Kombat League for Mortal Kombat 1, and I try to get unique finishers such as Fatalities or Brutalities for the main roster and cameo fighters. And this week I'm going back into the Kombat League specifically with Nitara and the cameo Sub-Zero. The goal here is to get the fatality for Nitara, her second fatality, that one being Break Check. And I don't really remember what level it was, but you do have to level up Nitara in order to unlock that fatality. And it's going to be fun to get to show that one off since in the last video I had to settle for the default fatality, and while that one is cool as well, it is nice to see something you did not start the game with. And something that has become pretty regular for these Nitara videos is my opponent. That is right, I'm going to be facing off against another person using Omni-Man. Although, credit to this person, they are trying out something a little bit different, something I do not see very often whenever I do these videos. In fact, I believe it's the first time it's happened. This individual is using the kameo Shujinko. That is a very, very rare sight. I don't think I've seen 5 people using Shujinko the entire time I've been playing this game. So this is kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, we're going after the break check fatality, so it doesn't really matter how I win the fight. The important thing is just that I win it. So let's go ahead and see what this Omni-Man and Shujinko can do against us. And odds are you already know this, but the cameo Shujinko has a gimmick where he steals your moves. So whenever this Omni-Man person tries to summon Shujinko, they are trying to steal one of my attacks. Unfortunately for them, and I don't know Shujinko super well, but I am at least familiar with the moves that he steals from Nitara, and they are not great. I mean, they're not terrible, but I don't really see him being able to make much use out of them. There are definitely better characters to steal moves from, so I wouldn't be surprised if this person considers changing their cameo at some point, but I don't know. Maybe I am just not familiar with the amazing moves and tactics that come with using Shujinko against Nitara. I might just be uneducated on the matter, we will find out. And as you can see, my choice of cameo really has not changed for Nitara. It is again cameo Sub-Zero. The only time it really ever changes is whenever I go with Frost instead of Sub-Zero. But even whenever I go with Frost over Sub-Zero, the gimmick is still the same. Start a combo, cancel into the freeze of that cameo fighter, go ahead and do Blood Sacrifice, and then go ahead and get a meter burned quick taste to get some of your health back and extend your combos. That is literally it. I don't really use the cameo with Nitara for anything else other than that freeze and the setting up of the blood sacrifice. So don't expect anything too crazy or out of the ordinary there, although I do land some pretty good combos using that, so even though it's the old reliable for me, at least it is working and it is looking kind of fun. And just like that, before you know it, the very first match of the set is over and it went in my favor, so I get a 1-0 lead early on. The very first round of that match was pretty one-sided with me taking a pretty comfortable victory. Round 2, however, was a lot more competitive. I ended up taking it in the end, but Omni-Man did give me a little bit of trouble and it was a lot closer. We will see if that trend continues and see if things stay competitive. Let's go ahead and go into match number 2. And while match number 2 is underway, I'm going to go ahead and kind of clarify why I went with the caption, "But Omni-Man can fly," to cover up the gamer tag of my opponent. Having faced a few Omni-Men now with Nitara, a thought occurred to me that Nitara has a lot of aerial combat related tactics. And it seems like that really should not work very well on Omni-Man. Like, her fatal blow involves her going up into the air with her opponent. I think one of her fatalities, just one of them. One of her fatalities involved taking her opponent into the air as well. And against most of the roster, that makes sense. Not many other characters on the roster can fly, so throwing them up in the air where they can, well, be at the mercy of gravity, that's not a very bad idea. That works out really well for Nitara. However, it's really funny seeing her do these things to Omni-Man, who can fly through space and travel between planets at these incredible speeds, and yeah, that whole concept of throwing Omni-Man in the air and him being helpless really does not work out the same way. It does not have the same kind of impact. But apparently it works, we still get the fatalities and stuff. It's just really funny to keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure Omni-Man can outmaneuver and fly faster than Nitara. I'm pretty sure it'd be really easy for him to get away. In fact, he can go so fast whenever he is flying that he's literally burning blood off of his body and it's no longer there. The amount of speed this guy can go at is absolutely wild, and I really don't see it working out for Nitara. It's probably something I would not have thought about had I not fought like 4 different Omni-Men with Nitara in these videos, but you edit these enough times and random crap tends to pop up in your mind, and I felt like sharing. And Omni-Man has taken a bit of a life lead against me. It's not like a super commanding one, but it is a life lead, and he has taken very little damage himself. It is time to fix that and try to start making a comeback. Hopefully I can, but we will see what happens. And while I am freshly on the topic of having fought several different people using Omni-Man with Nitara, it is worth mentioning, I suppose, that up to this point I have completed all of Nitara's fatalities and brutalities, or at least I have them recorded and I have to just voice them over and turn them into actual videos to upload. And having looked at the few that I have not done voiceovers for just yet, I have great news. There are no more people using Omni-Men in those videos. So we're going to get a little bit more variety after this one. So if you got a little bit tired of seeing Omni-Man versus Nitara, don't worry. You're not going to have to deal with that anymore. Unless I just break out Nitara again in the future, then, I mean, who knows, maybe. But for right now, this is the very last time I fight Omni-Man with Nitara.
Fatality. Nitara wins.
Now that was quite the finish because Omni-Man was actually doing pretty good against me in that second match, but fortunately for me, I was able to punish his low attack against me with my Fatal Blow, which is exciting. And with that Fatal Blow, I was able to deplete all of Omni-Man's remaining health, the finish him screen pops up, and I got to do the break check Fatality. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that one ended. Hopefully you enjoyed that fatality. With that being done, this video is nearing its conclusion. Not to worry though, I will show off the fatality one more time at the end of this outro, that way you can enjoy it before we part ways. But with that fatality out of the way, there's really not too much more to say, just if you did enjoy this video, be sure to check out some of my other stuff on the Thor's Entertainment channel. I do have other Fatal Friday videos like this where I highlight other finishers for other characters. And I also have playthroughs of the story modes for the Mortal Kombat games since Mortal Kombat 9, so if you're into that, check it out. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Fatality. Nitara wins.